If you thought car prices were insane in the overpriced car epidemic, wait until you see the overpriced truck epidemic. The average truck payment as of 2023 was a whopping $913, with 20% of buyers in 2026 now even taking $1,000 plus monthly payments on new vehicles. This is even sadder when paired with down payments being at one of their lowest points in recent history. So despite people getting more expensive cars than ever, payments are getting higher than ever, interest is getting worse than ever, people are actually shelling out less cash off rip, meaning longer loan durations, even worse interest, and it screws all of us responsible buyers out of a chance of buying a truck at a reasonable price because these idiots are emboldening dealerships, manufacturers, and banks to continue to mark up car prices and truck prices, because why bother settling for responsible people when you can keep selling these balmungs who don't have a developed prefrontal cortex a truck that is way out of their means? Gone are the blue-collar workhorses of yesteryear, and taking their place are these massive loaned, bank-owned pavement princesses. No hate to anyone who actually needs a truck for their work, or if you just have yours paid off. Y'all were never the ones in the reticle. After all, you know exactly who we're gonna make fun of today.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$1,342, and I drive a Silverado 3500 HD.
You drive
$700 a month. I drive a Chevy Silverado half-ton 2022.
I drive a 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Black Widow, and my car payment's $610 a month.
These comments say what we've all been saying in our minds. All these guys driving huge trucks to commute to sales jobs. And genuinely, why do all these desk job dealership MFs need a huge pickup truck? Especially one with prices north of 80 grand to even $100,000, because that's the only way they're getting $1,000+ a month payments. I still cannot get over how normalized it is for truck payments to just cost this much now. And since this is a TikTok dealership page, and I've played these games before, I do gotta mention that this clip, there's a chance it might just be rage bait, or even worse, it's trying to normalize higher numbers for impressionable youth who are scrolling by this, who have no frame of reference of what they should be paying. And you'd be surprised how Googling what the normal car payment is becoming a thing of the past, because there are unironically people on TikTok who ask other TikTokers for car payment advice, and this is the worst place to ask for that advice. And this girl actually must have rolled a luck stat 20 because she actually got good responses here, because unironically you just get a lot of predatory dealers who will also slide into your comments or DMs and show you stuff like this. And that's their goal. They're trying to normalize these payments. That way people go, oh, well, I guess paying $1,000 a month is fine because everyone else is doing it. And by the way, speaking of payments, I already mentioned this in my stupid car buyer epidemic, but I'll briefly state it here too. Don't ever base an entire vehicle purchase on the monthly payment. That is not at all how it works. I will not repeat myself here, so I highly recommend you watch that video after this one to see how rapidly interest can screw over the price. Generally, I'm still sick of these insanely high prices. Like, we all thought this would be a relic of the 2020 to 2022 era, and surely things would get better. But unfortunately, from the global pandemic to the chip shortage to then the tariffs of last year, something new kept popping up to just push these bad boys to the stratosphere. On to chapter 1.
He about to be working to pay his truck off. There's no way you're getting in this truck a first-time buyer. Do you know how much you're looking to put down?
I was probably going to sell my Tacoma and use it as a down payment.
Do you owe anything on it?
No, it's paid off. What would the monthly be on the Rebel?
You might be looking around $1,200 a month.
$1,200 a month.
Yes. Where do you work at?
I'm a freelance photographer, full-time.
Okay. How much is your monthly income?
Good months I can make $7 grand. Bad months I make like $3 grand.
I'm still pressed over how trucks went from being an iconic working man's vehicle to these glorified suburban status symbols driven by people whose trucks have never seen a speck of dirt a day in their life. Then you have these delusional losers in the comments who throw out the typical phrase of, that's your money, you worked hard for it, spend it how you want. It is not their money, it is the bank's money. They wouldn't be making monthly payments if it was their money that they spent. You would have only paid once if it was your money. Why do I have to keep explaining to these TikTok balmungs and troglodytes what a loan is? A loan is taking out money you don't have to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't even like and will probably forget you the moment they scroll 2 TikToks away or 2 Instagram reels away. I'm not joking about that. There are so many videos that are like, hey, tell me the last reel you saw from 2 reels ago. You'd be surprised how much doom scrolling actually just flies out of your head. So like these people are literally trying to impress that kind of audience, the audience that discards them from their memory 1 minute to 2 minutes later. I'm gonna reel myself a bit in so I don't go off topic, and I also do want to mention I actually don't hate everyone who takes out a loan, especially younger Gen Z. I forgive them because in the current state of the economy, they literally don't have money, and a lot of them didn't get to work summer jobs in high school because COVID was a thing while they were in high school. Speaking of pandemics, we gotta do something about that ship. Us Gen Z cannot live through another global pandemic. The 2020s have already been so cooked. Please have mercy on our soul. Anyways, so they are forced to take a loan on their very first vehicle ever because of how stupidly expensive cars are now. So if you're someone who's buying an A to B device, there's a huge difference between someone who's loaning something reasonable that will be paid off in a few years versus these losers taking 100 grand plus loans on a truck they didn't even need. That's absolutely not in the same universe of stupidity. Even leasing something, by the way, isn't as brain dead as some of these loans are, since at least the dealership takes care of the vehicle's maintenance with a full warranty that doesn't delay on major repairs, since the dealer is going to get the car back and they're incentivized to actually take care of it. I'm not a financial advisor, but there are plenty of people in that field who are far smarter than I am, who you can watch guides on how to lease vehicles intelligently. Thankfully, the rest of the comments aren't lobotomized, like this guy below. $930 on a base model. Damn, that's right. Imagine paying nearly $1,000 per month on a base model truck. That shit's sad. And I love each and every one of you guys who remind people like this is a Ford. $80,000 for a Ford. A Ford. This is wild. It's ridiculous. I have a Ford, by the way, for any newcomers watching. I don't hate the brand, and just like Zach and Caleb both mention a lot on their channels, I have zero problem with whatever car you like if you can actually afford it. Who cares about its brand, its model year, what type of vehicle it is, alright? I paid 27 grand for mine 8 years ago. I'm blessed that during my entire adult life, I've never known a car payment for almost a decade now, and I continue to plan to never know a car payment for the rest of my life, and I encourage most of you do it too. The guy below further highlights this by going, no Mercedes or BMW 80 grand, a sad face, really showing off how ridiculous this is for people with functioning prefrontal cortexes. We are normalizing non-luxury brands to now be luxury brand prices. I don't care how big these vehicles are. We've made huge vehicles in the past before. Trust me, the material cost is not why we're marking these bad boys up. They didn't cost $80,000 to $100,000 then, so why are we making them cost that much now? And no, it's not inflation. We've discussed that in the previous video. I'm telling you, shaming works. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, good friends don't let their friends spend $2,000+ a month for a Ford. Great friends don't even let their friends spend $1,000 a month for these things. Anyways, moving on to chapter 2.
Because she doesn't believe in used cars.
And just when you think we're making progress, you find others going, $1,000 isn't bad if it's fully loaded. Pay for what you want. Having said that, we gotta stop giving these dealerships power. These people need to control their desire. I want an F-16 Fighting Falcon in my backyard, but you don't see me taking a huge loan on it. Each time a loser signs off on these stupid loans, it makes it harder for the rest of us to buy vehicles at reasonable prices, since we're competing with Dumb and Dumber here. I hate that life is now glorified hedonism and giving in to wants and desires instead of realizing that true happiness and true fulfillment comes from delaying gratification. I'm not saying you can't have nice things, but please don't ruin your life for temporary pleasure at the cost of long-term pain. But I really want to emphasize to those people, you should not champion giving into your wants, and realistically, you're not actually still getting what you want. Fulfillment is what you want, because a lot of these buyers who buy super optioned, mega spec'd out vehicles, they're some of the first people to get buyer's remorse.
What's the payment?
$734.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah. I have recently thought about selling it.
Oh, really? When'd you get it?
A year ago.
Wow. When did the regrets sit in? We're like, I got to get rid of this thing.
Within a few months. So I'm close to retirement and I'm not ready.
I'm getting rid of my nice truck to drive a 2010 Suburban.
But I'm honestly having a little bit of regret regarding the finances for this thing. I honestly don't think I can afford it. Sort of want to bring it back.
Geez, okay. What's going on?
The financing on this thing is a little bit too steep. I know we went over all the paperwork.
Yes.
But I'm regretting that decision. Seeing what you guys can do in your good graces on letting me return this truck and just wash everything.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one there. Unfortunately, especially in the state of Georgia, there is no cooling off period. As far as the good graces go, we don't even own that vehicle anymore. Now a bank owns that vehicle.
But yeah, it's not just these comments either. You can see plenty of people who can't control their desire, and that's why they end up on Caleb Hammer's show.
I'm thinking of getting a Tacoma.
No. Nope. You're driving the beater until it's dead.
I think I deserve a Tacoma.
I need to make sure you agree with me.
This guy's the audacity to say, I deserve this truck. You don't deserve anything other than our basic needs. Okay, for the modern world, especially Americans living in a car-centric hellscape, you could argue transportation is now also a necessity in modern human life since, yes, clothing, shelter, and food are all necessities, but you need money to buy food these days, and you get money by getting a job, and to get to your job, you need transportation. So I will actually consider transportation a necessity. So yes, you do deserve transportation, but that just means something that moves. My Royal Enfield does that, and I'm blessed that my city recently has greatly expanded its cycling network where I can now go on a 50-mile journey around my entire county without ever having to touch a road. It's great exercise too. Now, of course, I will say if you need to carry things for your work, your family, or recreation, these MFs absolutely can still make do on a cheaper truck. Straight up, a work van, an old used truck, and by old, it could even be 15 years old, you can still spend like 20 grand. No one deserves a brand new Tacoma Ram 2500 or Ford Raptor. And by work, I do mean like actual work, not cosplaying as a blue-collar guy like this next clown.
Who the has a Ram 2500?
It's a diesel truck.
Great. It costs $1,275 a month.
That's correct.
You bring in $3,333. A third of your income goes to this truck.
I do a lot of driving.
Every other country has figured out that you don't need a supersized wagon, like the truck bed. In all these eras, throughout even the start of trucks in this country, not only have they stayed the same, they've actually shrunk and the cabins have gotten better.
I've seen it.
Like, this comment absolutely railed him. I do a lot of driving. That's why I bought this car. Brother, any other vehicle could have solved that issue. If he just wanted to drive, a compact sedan can do that. You get a truck to carry things. A lot of things, mind you. He makes $3,300 a month, but he pays $1,300 on his truck payment alone. That's not including insurance, gas, tire, wear and tear, and other expenses. He does make extra cash on the side from his side gigs using the truck.
So there's a caveat to that.
Caveat. This better be a big caveat.
It's decent. I do get a vehicle stipend.
How much?
$600.
That is decent. Why not just use that for, why not get a $600 car payment? By the way, is not an insignificant amount of money. Why not just, or an insignificant car? Why don't you just get a car that's $600 and then it's a free freaking car?
But what's crazy is he basically could have gotten a free truck with the $600 a month vehicle stipend that his company gives him. That buys a very nice truck still, by the way. Like, look at what $500 a month got this guy.
DR2 and my car payment's $500 a month.
I don't know much about trucks, but I'm pretty sure a ZR2 is still a really, really cool truck. That's a 50 grand truck, by the way, with a $500 a month car payment, and that would have been basically free under this guy's stipend. You're telling me that that truck can't do the same job as his nearly 100 grand Ram 2500 diesel when most blue-collar Americans in the 90s were doing the same job? It's a lawn care job, by the way. So like towing a trailer with lawnmowers and stuff, that exact job was possible with trucks half the size with less than half the horsepower and torque several decades ago. What changed, right? Did lawnmowers really get that much heavier? I don't think so. I think a ZR2 would have done the job just fine. Or whatever truck of his choice that was in the 50 to 60 grand territory would have literally been free. Crazy. Anyways, he mentions he can also write off the mileage for his taxes, which is why he chooses to drive this diesel truck everywhere he goes, even in spite of the wear and tear mileage.
You didn't pay last year's taxes, I just remembered.
Yeah. So whenever I applied,
What's up with people on this show and not paying taxes?
What is with side gigs lately and people waiting years to report their income? Like, even the Joker knows not to scum the IRS like that. If you actually report your income even yearly, like file it, they can't go after you after 3 years. But if you never report your income, then they can indefinitely audit you because you've just lied to them for several years. Like, that's why you should still file it. Don't just be like, that's future me's problem. Oh, it's about to be future you's problem, all right? Like, the reality is, this guy didn't want to have a side hustle to make more money. He just wanted a nice truck and then justify it with this half-assed excuse. Briefly circling back to wants, desires, and hedonism, life gets so much better when you conquer your desires, not the other way around. Giving into them isn't heroic, it's pathetic. I hate the TikTok trend of, you don't have a spending problem, you have an income problem. No, y'all got spending problems. Income isn't exactly growing on trees right now. Factually and statistically speaking, jobs and how much they're meaningfully paying us is really hard to come by in this economy. I mean, look at the entire video I dedicated to this subject, Overworked and Underpaid Epidemic. By the way, it is now available in all regions, so it was actually blocked in certain regions when it first came out, so if you weren't able to see it, it should be seeable to you now. Go ahead and click on my channel and you'll find it there. Go watch it later, alright? While we're here though, why not subscribe and drop a like, especially if you're enjoying my weekly epidemic slop. Anyways, you aren't going to get sadder by reducing your desires. That is the dumbest misconception that has ever been created by the internet. One of the comments you guys left a few videos ago was, you know you've matured when you've stopped looking at cars and don't visit car dealerships anymore, and you don't even feel like a pull, like from the salesman or from the dealership. Buying something new doesn't make me happy anymore. Keeping what I have than spending or saving cash for other things makes me infinitely happier than dumping 500 grand on a supercar. Tying this back, the moment I finally reeled in my desire and said I wouldn't be happier by wanting more or actually owning a supercar, you don't have an income problem. You indeed do have a spending problem. I faced myself, took responsibility, became an adult, and controlled myself. I have genuinely never been happier since that moment from 2022 onwards. There is a reason entire cultural philosophies like Buddhism are built on reeling in your desire. It works. It's about conquering your internalized insecurity. And a lot of young 20-somethings I used to know, including myself, we used to say we don't care what others think, but like crabs in a bucket, we all rush into debt the moment we felt our car was too lame, especially on the automotive side of YouTube. Oh, that's a can of worms for a different video. This is about overpriced trucks. Anyways, move on to some hope core to cheer ourselves up in chapter 3.
I would never finance a car in my entire life.
Guys, I paid off my truck today, finally. I'm here at Wells Fargo to pull out $250 to finally pay off my truck.
Thankfully, not everyone on TikTok is brain dead, as there are also plenty of owners who drive 20-plus-year-old trucks that are paid off. And apologies to any millennial watching who's gonna comment, that's 2005, Bladed, that's like 10 years old. No, bro, I'm so sorry to tell you, that is actually 21 years ago now. It is literally legal drinking age. But guess what? We love to see it. Nothing is a bigger flex in your 20s than having a paid off vehicle.
I paid my car off. 6 long years of, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Like I mentioned earlier, for younger Gen Z, generally don't take shame in taking a small loan of 10 to 15 grand, as long as you know you're gonna pay off the vehicle. Tell yourself, hey, I'm gonna get there. Like, I get it. You won't just spawn in with a paid off vehicle in your 20s, but give yourself even just 3 years time, and you're going to be just like all these other people in these used clips who don't have car payments anymore because they either recently finished it or bought it in full, and they just simply chose not to get another because not having a car payment anymore is a wonderful feeling. Like, remember when commercials were actually encouraging owners to keep old trucks? I'm serious. Here's an old commercial that used to air showing an owner choosing to spend more on fixing his old truck than buying a new one.
I got good news for you, kid. You're getting a new truck.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's gonna cost more to fix than it's worth. Besides, the truck's older than you.
Just fix it.
To me, this is still the most sincere and most genuine form of car enthusiasm. Can we go back to this culture? Like, instead of buying all these new G80s, GT3 RSs, and supercar LARPing BS, can we just go back to actually buying a car, keeping that car, modifying that car, repairing that car? The reason I bring this up is because it highlights how ridiculous it is that these clowns on TikTok are taking these 200 grand truck loans and supercar loans to do something that barely qualifies as a side hustle. These guys would make more money using their trucks to deliver Uber Eats than making the same 100 Miami LARP edits for 3 cents per RPM that we're all fed up with seeing. You guys are literally made in a factory. Sorry for using second person so much. Not you guys, the audience. You guys are genius. These TikTok clowns though, ooh. Speaking of which, oops, looks like we ran out of hopium. Back to your weekly scheduled Doom post. And if you're enjoying this week's Doom post so far, then make sure to subscribe for more weekly epidemic slop. Let's move on to the final chapter.
Minimum monthly payment of $857.75.
We couldn't fit our kids in the Elantra he had.
Come on.
Like, genuinely, I cannot believe people who still think having 2 kids suddenly means they need to go out and buy the largest civilian-grade infantry fighting vehicle.
Because she doesn't believe in used cars.
The Hyundai Elantra, we couldn't fit the 2 kids in
You
the,
used to have
the
a
3
Ford
kids in the car.
F-150 at 0% interest, but you made them...
She doesn't believe in used. I'm sorry, are we making buying cars a religion now? The f you mean you don't believe in used cars? This lady right here is what big automotive loves. It's not that people like this don't believe in owning a used car, it's that they think they deserve something brand new, and sometimes even defer the blame to someone or something else, in this case, her children. Oh, but I have 2 kids. They need this truck. I don't want to stuff them in a little compact sedan. Lady, I doubt your kids care what cars you drive them around in. Like, this goes for really most parents, by the way. I sure as hell didn't when I was 5. I didn't even know my family was poor until I got made fun of. Hey, he grew up eating spaghetti that was cut and his mom would put cheese on it, and that he called that mac and cheese. Because yes, I'm not making that up. All the struggle meals I ate, and I unironically not f***ing with you guys, and I still f*** with this. I don't care. That's what I ate literally going up until 12 years old. Until finally, like, you know, you could eat high school lunches when I was 14 onwards, and it was at the time when I was in high school, it's like $225, $275, and my parents were a little bit better off then where they could pay that. So I was able to eat a lot more like actual substantial variation with foods. It's funny, a lot of kids hate American high school lunches because of Michelle Obama, and being Gen Z, I grew up in the post-Michelle Obama era. I did not get to see the fine dining that millennials experienced, but genuinely, I never thought I was poor. Sorry, we got so off topic, but like, I did not care what the heck vehicle my parents are driving us around in. I used to just look out the window all the time, and I would like pretend there was a dirt bike riding next to us and it was just doing sick tricks. My fellow Americans, can we stop normalizing buying 60 to 100 grand massive brand new infantry fighting vehicles just to take our kids to school in? Americans in the past and many countries today are doing just fine raising families of 3, 4, even 5+ kids with a wagon, a sedan, or even a hatchback. How did we get here? The average suburban mom is not ready for the absolute giga chat of mothers that exist in India and Southeast Asia who carry their entire family on their Royal Enfield or Honda Super Cup. Another huge W for Royal Enfield. Royal Enfield owners cannot stop winning. Our wallets keep filling and our wheels keep spinning. It brings a lot of enjoyment when you decouple your life from constantly caring about how expensive your truck or car is. But of course, plenty of people don't care about that, and it's fun to make fun of them, which is why that's gonna be it for this video, and why you shouldn't take stupid loans on things you can't afford. And if you need someone to scream at you weekly to prevent yourself from making these dumb decisions, then subscribe to my channel for more weekly epidemic slop. Give Zach Rios a view, and even give Caleb Hammer some views too, because they'll help scream at you too to make you know that you really shouldn't be loaning these stupid loans. Like this video, share it to your friends, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bladed Angel out.